Let's get started. I'm just going to create myself a new document. And let's see, do I want to create a letter or a sideways one? I'm going to go with the letter. I like the little letter sort of thing. We're going to go maybe like 5 pages on this one. Let's go with the 2 columns. I'm going to lower the gutter down just a little bit. Margins look good, and we're going to hit create. And so there we have it. Now we have created our document. And what we need to do is, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to keep these pages facing one another. So let's create like sort of a title page, and then we'll create the content pages. So I'm actually going to create layers, or we're going to go into pages, and we're going to create masters for this. So I'm going to create myself a new master, and I want it to be a 1-page master, and it's going to be prefix of A, and I'm going to name it title, like so, and then it's going to be 1-page letter, okay. And so a title, and what that just basically means, it's just another nice way of naming it, so everything isn't master. So I know that this master is just going to be the title master. And now you're thinking, why would you create a master just for the title? Well, I kind of like to not work directly in the document. I like to have the option. So for example, this title, maybe I might want to reuse it in chapter 2 or chapter 3. I have the option now to just drag and drop it on other pages. So I'm going to design everything in here and then just implement it into the actual document. So let's go ahead and drag this. I always like the sort of top. I'm actually thinking here. I'm going to make like a picture book on Nagasaki, Japan, because that's a place that I lived and a place that I really enjoy. So maybe I can do kind of what we did like really way back at the very beginning of all of the lectures, where I created that like title up here with a box. So let's create ourselves a box, maybe like so. I'm going to file and then place. And let's go into Unit 8 here. And you'll see that I have just a bunch of pictures in here in Unit 8. And feel free to use these pictures in yours if you don't want to, look up pictures of your place. Or if you just want to create, just something along these lines as well. So let's create something. Let's kind of capture something that goes with this element. That's a little busy to put text on. Maybe this one will look good. So I'm going to place this one in here. And then let's go ahead and just click on the center now, and we'll shrink this down. We'll use the left side because the right side's blocked. Drag this into place. Maybe like so. Maybe we should go lower. Maybe we can choose the water in here. Yeah. Let's get some of the boats in there. And then, yeah, maybe like that. And then if I go in here and I go to the text, let's type in Nagasaki, Japan, Chapter 1. So let's go ahead and make this big text now. And definitely need some white text here. So I'm going to go and click over in here. I'm going to drag this on over to white. And let's make this bold. And I might even add like a little, because it's still a little bit busy with the background. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to move it over here. Like so. And then let's add a stroke of maybe 1 or 2. Oops, not onto the box itself. What we're going to do is we're going to actually add a stroke onto the text right here. So I'm going to highlight this, and then I'm going to actually go over into the paragraph, and we'll probably need to create a paragraph style for this. That's probably, yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way to do this. So we're just going to name this, we're just going to create ourselves a style. We're going to name it title style. And then let's go over into the character color, stroke. Click on the stroke right here. We're going to click black, and then we're going to make it a weight of 2. Let's click preview so I can kind of see what's going on here. But since it's highlighted, it's actually going to be the inverse, so let's click it and see what that looks like. Yeah, that's looking pretty good right there. Let's see, is this centered properly? Yep, looking pretty good. And if I was like really, spending a lot of time on this, I might actually take this file, this background right here, bring it into Photoshop or something and blur it a little bit so that it isn't so distinct and it focuses on the text a little bit better. But we don't need to do that right now. We got the general gist of what we're doing. That would be something we do in Photoshop later on. So now we have this sort of chapter 1 going. And what we can do now is, because we built it like this, if we have any further, because you remember this is in the master page, so if we have any further sort of additions we need to add to this, like chapter 2, all we have to do is go up here and change the chapter to chapter 2 inside of our pages. Sort of your choice on how, how far you actually want to go inside the master page. Maybe you just want to create the boxes in the text layer right here and then place the image later on, but for this one I'm just going to stick like this. And now what I'm going to do is let's go with, let's see, how do we want our title to look? It's the chapter 1. Yeah, let's kind of start it with some text as well. Maybe, I'm thinking probably, let's go with like some text near the bottom here. And then maybe like a couple of images on the top, sort of like show it off. So maybe like one right here and one like right here or something like that. Or even like maybe we go like one long one like so. And then one sort of up and down one up here. But you know what? I'm not going to put that in the master. Just thinking about it, let's actually implement that. So let's go to here, let's right click on it here, and let's apply master to pages. And we're going to go with the A title, click OK. And so now we have this locked in, and now we can design this document a little bit. Because this down here would definitely probably change depending on the chapter. So I'm going to create one like that, create one like this, and let's place some images and mess around with these before we go into the text on the bottom here. So let's select this, file, place. I like that one. That one's kind of like a good introduction photo. Fitting, fit content to frame, and then let's kind of move the frame around with the control key a little bit to kind of make it so it's a little less squished and it fits a little better with everything. Yeah, maybe like so. Definitely think it's probably a little less, like maybe like that, yeah. And then now let's find that up and down photo, because I know we have one in there. Let's go file, place, and yeah, well, let's go with this one. Fitting. Let's see, fit content to frame. Control, Alt, E. I might be using this a lot, so I'm going to learn the keyboard shortcut here. It's definitely a little bit squished, so I think it needs to come out a little bit, yeah, like that. Let's maybe center this one down a little bit. Looking good. And now let's add some text here. Maybe like an introduction text that we might use. And so we could, we have some margin problems here. This one goes farther than the left one. This one doesn't actually align with the left one over here. So let's actually get everything sort of aligned in here. See, I like the spacing, but I want to make sure everything is sort of uniform with one another. Let's bring this back up here. Maybe I gotta shrink this one down just a touch. Kind of create that a little bit more space here, and we'll do the exact same here. Just shrink it down just a touch, just to create a little bit more space between the two images. Okay, and then in the text field here, instead of just making placeholder text, I'm actually just gonna do something that you can also do, which is just go to Wikipedia and search for like Nagasaki, and I'm just gonna copy some text, just, for fun. Make it look sort of like the text actually fits. And you'll notice that if you copy text directly from online, sometimes you'll get these characters, and this is just because it's using like Unicode characters, and it can't actually register those. For example, you'll notice that it has, whoops, one more. You'll notice that it has right here Japanese, and it is not formatted to input Japanese at the moment, so all of those will come out as weird sort of symbols. But this is looking pretty good right here. Maybe we should make a style for the paragraph text. Sounds like a good idea, so I'm going to go back into paragraph styles. We're going to make a new style, and we're going to call it, not title, we're going to call it paragraph text. And maybe, let's see, what is it right now? It's just Minion Pro regular. Let's just go to the... I'm going to go to the size, actually. We'll just make the size a little bigger. I think it just needs to be a touch bigger. And I don't think it needs to be bold or italic or anything. I just think it needs to be a touch bigger. And we'll delete this bottom one off because was not actually something we wanted here. And I need to make sure that I'm keeping track of my errors because there was an overset error. And let's go back in the W for a little while. Okay, so we have our first page of this completed. There's a little extra room up here than I'd like, so let's bring these all up a little bit. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. I could even let's go with let's test this idea out a little bit. I was thinking of making, maybe I could do this. I could shrink this one down even more, but center it a little bit, and then add another one beneath it. See, would that look good? I'd need to center this then. Now it looks too busy. Just an idea I thought I might try. So I'm going to hit Control Z until we get back to what we had originally. Okay. And then actually, I think this would actually look better if it was centered. Sometimes clicking those frames can get tricky. Okay. I think that's pretty good for our opening document here. So let's go into our secondary documents. What I want to also do for here is I want to create a master page for it as well. I'm going to drag pages up here because I'm going to use that a lot. Let's grab paragraph styles and add that up here as well, because just kind of trying to bring up the ones that I click the most up here. So let's go into pages, and let's see this A master. This is what I'm going to use, but I'm going to edit this. So you know, it might just be easier just to delete it and try again. Yep, that's fine. We're just going to create a new one. And we're going to name this one B, because actually we do want it to be B, so that it's easy to see when you're looking at the pages. And master, we'll just go B content. Number of pages 2, so it's going to be a two-page master right here. And what I want to do is I want to create text that goes between all of them. Let's go and create the text right here. I'm going to drag all the way across, and I'm going to hit 4 of these bad boys. We're going to drag it over, and we're going to lock it in like so. And you'll notice that the margins are actually a little bit off because they're using default margins. And it's having to cross a page, so actually it's probably not the best idea to try to do all 4 of them at once. We can just do them like this. Exact same thing here. And so now we have a bunch of text ready to go. And if we wanted to link a bunch of placeholder text throughout it, we could. But I'm thinking I kind of want to do like a picture book sort of thing. So maybe like a bunch of text on the left. And let's actually delete these out of here. And no text on the right, just pictures on the right. I think that's kind of the direction I wanted to head here. So now we have our text created. I think that's actually going to be it for our B masters. So let's go ahead and just select all of these and apply masters. Let's go with B content right here. We'll apply OK. And now let's jump into these and get started on this stuff right here. So let's go into the first one. Remember, Control-Shift-Click to activate it so we can actually add text to it. And let's reopen up our document here. And we deleted everything right here. But we're just going to start right maybe like down here. Yeah, maybe like down to here is good. Might try to copy some images in there as well. But we'll deal with that when that happens. Control V. It's going to input those into here. But you'll notice something is because we have this and they aren't linked, it's not going to be as easy as we did before. So we might actually have to manually link this stuff up. So let me select that. Grab that overset text. And bring it down to here. And there, now it sort of ends. And let's make sure that we have our styles applied here. We want it to be paragraph text in here. We want the whole thing to be paragraph text, so let's go ahead and select the entire document. Control A, paragraph text. And that should set all of these to paragraph text, so it's in the same style. And then I'm also going to go back into paragraph text And I'm going to go ahead and turn off hyphen. So just got to remember where that is in here. Hyphenation, turn off hyphenation. And now there's no more hyphens. I don't like hyphens that much. All right, so looking good, looking good. Now this right side, what I said I wanted to do was I wanted to add some pictures into here. So now we can just add in our pictures and have some fun with this. Let's create like, let's not create any boxes. I want to create these by just placing them perfectly. And we can actually hold down Shift and we can load a bunch of them up at the same time. And that's kind of a fun way to do it. So let's go with this one, and this one. I'm gonna click open. It's gonna open up these three. And now if I place this one here, you'll see that it places it. And then I can like place multiple of them at the same time. So I'm gonna place those two down there. And we're gonna work with these individually. I'm gonna zoom out for this because these are really, really large pictures. And let's shrink this on down. Let's drag this over to here. And you'll notice when I zoom out, it puts these boxes so you can kind of see the text going, but it shows you, but it's not gonna try to animate that small of text. Let's try to put this one here. Shrink this one down. Maybe put it over closer to the right over here. Do the exact same thing with this one. Like so. Alrighty, so now we got sort of these images. Now we can kind of like format them since they're all an equal size here. I just kind of wanted to create like maybe 3 equal size images going left and right, alternating down the spine of this document right here. I'm going to turn off the guides here because I want to see this visually. And let's add some stroke to these. And we didn't really talk about it, but we can actually go up here to window and let's go into styles and let's create an object style really quickly. This goes in line with the paragraph styles. It's just exactly the same thing you're doing, except what I can do with this is if I add it, let's just add it down here. I can create a new one and we'll name this picture style. And what we can do with this is we can just set a stroke here. So we can set the weight of 2. And now we don't have to jump and keep resetting them. We can do what we do and just click the paragraph style or the picture style, and every one of them will have that stroke now. Saves us some time, and it allows us to adjust them all at once later on. Okay, so now they're all like that. So let's try to get these kind of really big close to one another. Actually, I kind of like the big one in the center and then a couple smaller ones. Let's maybe bring this closer. And you see that the spacing is all the same here. Let's bring this one over here to the right. Maybe bring this one slightly in more. I think left to right feels better. Let's duplicate this. Sometimes it takes a little while to get these all right because you want them to look good, but there isn't really like a set style to make anything look good. So sometimes you just kind of have to experiment around with it and find something you like. Like I'm thinking that this 2-1-2 design might be a good idea here. There we go. And now we can just replace something in here. Let's go with the train picture here. And let's go with Control D is to place. I'll remember that and I'll start using that. Let's go with this one right here. And now that's looking pretty cool. If you see our document, it's looking chapter 1. We got like a pictures on the right. And then let's do the exact same thing over here on the right as well. So I'm gonna highlight all of them. I hit Control C, Control V, drag them all into here. And now we can kind of change some of the pictures out. We're running out of pictures though, so probably won't have a lot that we can change out. Maybe we'll just have to have a couple duplicates, but that's fine because like this isn't an official sort of document, just something we're having some fun with learning and creating with. Let's go with this one in the center now. Yeah, that actually looks really good. I accidentally clicked a button over there, free stock images. File, place, and then let's go with don't think we've used this one yet. Yeah, that looks good. File, place. We used one of these in the top. Let me see which one. It's so it's either the green on the left or the city in the center. Green on the right, I mean. So we need to use the one with the city in the center. Like so. And then I think we have a second image of this as well. So we might actually have the perfect amount of images, except we're just going to duplicate this one down here. Let's use, what is this one? This was the door on the left with that chair, right, like that. And did we use the one with the... No, we didn't. Okay, we're going to have a perfect amount of images. So we're going to go here, File, Place. We're going to replace it with this one. And there we go. We actually have a really nice looking document here. Sort of like I said, a picture book. I could even think about maybe switching this to over here and the text to the right. That might look kind of cool as well. But what we should actually do is let's go ahead and create ourselves another master page, or actually just edit our master pages. What we could actually do is we could create an overarching master page that just has a page number on it, and then these could actually have been created off of that master page. A little bit of an advanced thing to do, but it might save you some time. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to manually add in the page numbers to both A and B. What I'm saying is you could create a master page and then base both of these off that master page so they inherit traits from the above one. You can create like really in-depth hierarchies like that. But we're just going to jump back into here. I'm going to grab some text right like so. We're just going to go maybe up in the top left corner, right click, interact, or my bad, insert special character. We're going to go to markers, current page number. And then let's center this. So actually, we don't need to really center this. We're just going to kind of bring it down here and then move it around. Maybe down a little bit farther. All right, that looks good. I'm going to hit Control-C on this to copy this so I can bring it into my next one, which is going to be our content pages here. So we're going to Control-V. And it's going to insert right here. I'm going to bring that up to pretty much the same place. And then I'm going to Control-V one more time. I'm going to do it exactly over here as well. We'd probably want to grab some rulers and make sure these are exact. But these are looking pretty good for just eyeballing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like that look of it on this side. We're going to bring it to the other side. Now we'll check. Yeah, that's looking a lot better right there. 3, 4, 5, like so. Okay, that is looking pretty good. Let's zoom out and kind of look at it top down. Yeah, I like this sort of look to it. Like I said, it's going to be like a chapter book where this is you open it up, you turn the page, it's going to have this to here. And then on the right side is always going to be like pictures of the region and then describing the region.